What's happening, everybody? It's been a minute. We've been pretty swamped. Went through a whole bunch of stuff in the past month and a half or so. And my wife just had heart surgery. She's recovering. She's doing good. No problems there. But we are getting ready for sick week. And I think the last video I made about this car, it wasn't even running. So sorry about that. But since that video, it's up, it's running. We've been testing, we've been trying a whole bunch of new stuff, and I figured I'd kind of go over some of the details about it and what we've accomplished so far and kind of what the plan is for sick week. So I'll go over some of the stuff we've done for prep, getting ready for sick week. So first off, Matt made us these sweet little side view camera mounts, so there's no mirrors on the doors. And mirrors kind of suck anyway when you got the little mini trailer behind you. So these have been, we had them on the last car. So he just made these, they Zeus on in place of the window. And that'll be nice. So we got the phone mounts in there, right there. And you've already seen the inside of this thing. I've already shown you everything underneath the hood and whatnot. So the phone mounts are in on both sides. Laura got me that for Christmas, so that's pretty sweet. We've got the trailer connector on there, and that's a mil spec style connector. So I was gonna go over what we have to do to switch this car over from race mode to street mode. So this is the hatch for the fuel cell, but if you look, there's no fuel cell in there. So after we make a pass, it'll be in this condition. And we will put it up on air jacks and lift it up, pull the deck lid off, and we'll drop in the pump gas fuel cell. So pump gas fuel cell's held in with this cage, and we've got a Racetronics titanium dry brake down there that pokes through the bottom of the panel, and we've got a line in the car, already plumbed and whatnot. Then the hitch gets bolted on. So it's 10 bolts, for the hitch. And then we swap wheels and tires, which they're outside. And then we hook up to the little trailer. So I spent the past couple nights working on the little trailer. Still have to attach that. I'm probably not gonna leave that on the tongue since it seems like a bunch of people get stolen. So I don't know, but we got plenty of room for activities. If you've never seen my mini trailer for sick week before, you can probably tell that I've been extremely busy. This is the hood from my old car, which will be coming off tomorrow, and I plan on going to pick up the car tomorrow and bring it back here, stripping it and getting ready for paint for the new owner. But we're gonna leave the frame on so that we can strap some stuff to the roof. So anyway, this is a little 4x6, who makes this? Sundowner, all aluminum, little miniature trailer. I think I call it a mini go. And years ago, I had Matt at Performance Fab make me some mounts for the wheels. And then we've got some fuel cells. So this just carries fuel for us. It doesn't feed the car or anything, but just carries fuel for us instead of having fuel jugs everywhere. So this is the methanol side. And what I do is there's a dry brake down there, the little Jiffy Tight dry brake. We hook up the dry brake, and then I'll show you here. There we go, these hoses. And we hook up the dry brake, and we run it to the fuel cell in the car, and this is a Schrader without a valve core in it. So it works as a breather when you're driving down the road. But it also, we screw the little inflator on here, pressurize the tank, and push the fuel into the car. So that's the methanol side. This is the pump gas side. And we do the same thing with pump gas. This really has become very handy. I don't have to buy as much fuel when we're at the racetrack, which is nice, by being able to store. I think we store 13 gallons there. And this has saved us quite a few times. It doesn't matter how good your fuel gauge is. It seems like I'm not very good at reading it. So I've run us out of fuel a couple of times, and it's nice to be able to just pull over, hook up and fill it back up. So we got the little mini gooseneck. So that's a mini goose right there. And a nice like off-road jack. This thing's awesome when you're in the gravel pits or something like that. So the little mini gooseneck is because this trailer is made to be pulled behind like a Honda. And when you put the like 31-inch tall road wheels on it, road tires, and and hook up the air shock, you wind up having a pretty high bumper in the rear. So to level it out, Matt made me a little mini gooseneck. But anyway, the hitch pokes out right there underneath the bumper. And we also, one of the conversion things to drive it on the road, we do that, put the hitch on, and then we have an air shock. This is a Ride Tech air shock. I don't want to pull it out of there, but it's all it is like a bag. It's like a coilover bag. Works great. We air it up to like 40 pounds. It lifts all the weight off of the shocks on the back of the car, and down the road we go. So got a floor jack here, a little transfer pump. So when we get to the racetrack, if there is pump gas in that cell, it is easy to just drop that in and pump it out into a jug. So it just makes life easier pulling that fuel cell out of the car. So on to the mini trailer. So first off, it's a little dark in here. So grab me a battery quick, and then come on over here, hook it up to our dock, and then let there be light. There we go. So got lights in the trailer. I modified, this was like the biggest change I made to this thing. So this is a Harbor Freight Special, what is it, US General toolbox, like 27-inch. It's a roll cart, but what I did was I pulled the wheels off of it, and Daniel and I bolted it up through the caster holes through the floor. So she's sturdy. But anyway, then I found some pack out mounts that are magnetic. Well, we put magnets in them. They're made to be bolted, but we put magnets in them. And I've got a cooler right here to hold all your White Claws. And then obviously it comes off so you can drain it. And then we've got all of our hardware is in here. And then I've got a random like catch-all tote, which kind of is really necessary. I don't know. It always seems like it doesn't matter how much you plan, you always wind up throwing stuff into one of these totes. So anyway, we'll run down on the toolbox. Top drawer. These are all gapped. Preston Anderson 3D printed me these. Super flexible. These are cool. I like these a lot. I like them flexible like this. But they hold 4 sets of plugs. He makes a whole setup that goes in a Milwaukee pack out. That's awesome. It's just with having this toolbox, it made it not smart to have another pack out box. So anyway, this is a full set of plugs. Pull them out and swap them around. Then these are like used pump gas plugs. These are some more pump gas plugs. These are all race plugs. They're all gapped. So smart move, gap them at home, right? Anyway, we've got some tools that are gonna be used. This is all the stuff to pull the valve covers off right here. 2 sets of valve lash tools. So if we have to lash valves, I'm kind of a maniac and I carry everything double, but whatever. We've got some shock adjustment and strut adjustment stuff, some Zeus tools, and these are really cool. Element makes these. These are fire sticks. They put out fires. Some headlamps, some more headlamps from Racetronics, an infrared temp gun to look at the racetrack, and a knife, and a weather, like this is a Kestrel. This is a shooting Kestrel, but it's a Kestrel for weather. And then we've got all this stuff to do spark plugs. So these are pretty neat. If you take anything away from this video, you might learn something here. Thexton, Thexton, part number 492. I buy them from Amazon. All there is little rubber things. Click them onto a spark plug, and then thread them in and out. Very, very useful. I like them. So anyway, got a bunch of them. We've got a bunch of little snap-on quarter body with 3/8 head ratchets that I just kind of have a combo of what I use to change plugs on this thing. So anyway, this will be like the most used drawer. That's why it's at the top. Then we've got sockets, ratchets, yada yada. This is for the floater. So if you have any specialty tools, bring them with you, obviously. So like this piece is for the strange, this piece right here is for the strange floater to take the hubs off, the spindles off. This is for the strut cup to make strut cup adjustments. This is also the nut to take the strut out of the strut cup. So you need to bring this with you. Anyway, so we got, you know, all the, like this. This is an 1.5 inch socket. These are kind of hard to come by when you're on the side of the road, but this is to remove the pinion nut off of a 9-inch. So anyway, bring your specialty stuff with you. Just don't rely upon other people to carry it for you. And anyway, so we got all that. Whoops. Look at that. See? A little rammy. There we go. Wrenches. These are cool. Little Nipix pliers. I use these all the time. These little guys rule. I don't know. I like them. We got wrenches. And then screwdrivers, pliers, electrical tools, hammers, yada yada. This is all boring, but I mean, maybe you learn something to carry it with you. Again, specialty tools. So like this is a valve spring compressor for my cylinder heads. This is a valve spring checker for my cylinder heads. And not that you need them, but if you have them, why not bring it with you? Spare batteries for the headsets, some spare batteries for the pumps, all yada yada, some chassis tools, compression gauge. Hopefully we don't need that guy. We don't want to have to use you. Please don't let me use you. Plug for the tail shaft for a Turbo 400. And then we've got more, you know, electrical or power tools and whatnot. And yeah, spare parts, tons of spare parts. So all the spare parts are up there. There's a pit cooler, which keep an eye, I guess, on my Facebook and my website, but we are building a new pit cooler. We don't have it done yet, but it will be, in my opinion, the absolute nicest one on the market. So if you need a pit trans cooler, kind of hold off a couple weeks, we'll be done with it. It's awesome. Everything will be built in, 12 volt, 110, doesn't matter, or 18 volt Milwaukee or DeWalt or whatever you use. 110, it'll all be built in, have automatic switching, very cool. I'm very excited about that because every other pit cooler out there kind of sucks. This one's, in my opinion, the best one out there on the market right now, just because it's like a suitcase, so you can kind of throw it in your trailer and not worry about it. It's not an open frame that makes a mess and takes up a ton of space. That's the most compact. I like that one the most. But anyway, mine will be better. So a fan, a whole bunch of spare parts, all the oil and stuff's back there. Maxima racing oil. It's all we use. It's all back there behind the little black V4 totes. And up here, we'll throw luggage. We got two sides of luggage. Those are the lumbar pads for street driving. Those are a necessity. You know, cleaning stuff, you know, normal stuff. That is the nitrogen bottle for the air jacks. So there's a nitrogen bottle, there's the safety stands, and then I just made another hose, a new hose, just I wanted a black one. So, and that's the nitrogen bottle. Then something else that might be beneficial for y'all if you're gonna plan on doing a drag and drive, or if you're gonna be at sick week, hopefully I get this video up before sick week. I do stuff in bags. So like this is the bag that's needed to convert the car over from race mode to street mode in the front of the car. This is the bag in the rear of the car. So when Josh and I are swapping the car over, maybe he does the rear and I do the front, or vice versa, whatever it is, I can grab a bag. It's got all the tools I need to do what I need to do in the back of the car. And he's got a bag that can do all the stuff that's in the front of the car, or vice versa. So magnetic lights. This is the new Icon light. This is pretty sweet. I just bought this thing. Pretty sweet. I like it. Whoops, look at that, infrared, or UV. Cup holders, magnetic. We keep these all over the shop, so I just scored some off the lifts. Some magnetic, you know, parts mats and tool mats and stuff, little hanging deals, just in case you never know what you're gonna be up against. And flashlights everywhere. And I can't see anything at night, so I have to have a lot of light. Anyway, that's the mini trailer. So hopefully things go well and I don't have to use anything that I brought. That's my hope. My hope is that we don't have to use a single thing that we brought. But if you do, better to be prepared than to, hope that somebody else can come along and save you. So there's a mini trailer. Here's the car. We've got the windows Zeus in and out, and buddy of mine, Rob Hollifield, he is making me bags for these. So we'll be able to put the windows in nice bags, microfiber, like lined bags so that they don't get scratched up, and we'll hang them right. Yeah. Plenty of room, luggage up there, gear bag here, tons of room. So the whole, after all the ones that we've done, the pain is always like getting all of this stuff out of the way to access the tools or to access what's up in front, or even just to get to your luggage easily. Now, hopefully, we're in a little bit better position here. So I think we're as best equipped as we've been when it comes to the mini trailer. Now, the car is a whole nother story. So we have been testing once, twice, 3 times, and here. This is what people that they don't see this stuff. Everybody always just sees you go out and do good or whatever, but nobody ever sees or pays attention to the testing. So this is, I don't even think this is all the slips. But this car has already got those many slips on it. So, I don't even know, none of this stuff's in order, but this is how many passes this, oh no. My bad, this is from the old car. The new car's out in the trailer. Never mind. Disregard. We probably got about 20 rips on this thing already. We've been 4 O's at 180. We've been printing that ticket over and over again like a bracket car in the 8th. And that's without using the lockup and with a pretty loose stator in the converter. I have recently switched over to using Circle D for converters, and I'm very happy with the decision. It's strictly just something to try new. So we're happy with it, and it's been working out well. It's been really good to work with Pete at Circle D. He got really, really close with the first stator, a little bit closer with the second, and I think this one that he's sending me right now is gonna be spot on. I've got a weird combo. I know I'm not telling you what I'm doing here, but I'll show you in a minute. So these are cool fasteners that I really like, that I thought maybe you guys would like. I figured I'd show you. So from street mode to race mode, we have to do something with this grill. And what this is Preston Anderson, again, he modeled this 3D or in CAD or whatever he used, I don't know. And he modeled this, and first he made it 3D printed, and it had the contour and everything. It was sweet, right? Fit great. Problem was, when I go to take it off and I lay it on the ground, it stuck up because it was arched, like so. So I said, man, why don't we just make it out of flat aluminum and then shove a piece of carbon behind it? So the idea is we'll use a piece of carbon behind it to block off the air from getting into the engine bay when we race it, and then we'll take the carbon out when we street drive it. So you're probably wondering, what are these crazy cool little fasteners? Well, these, I think we're gonna sell these because these are very difficult to understand the part numbers, but I've figured them out over the years because I've used these a lot. These are called cam locks. So this will be tricky with one hand. Oh. Anyway, oh well. Yeah, see, I'm not nearly as nice to my own stuff as I am to everybody else's. But anyway, these are cam locks. These have a floating receptacle, right? So it allows misalignment. They're extremely easy to adjust the depth, right? So look at all that misalignment you get. So if you're kind of off center a little bit, it'll just pull it straight. So Zeus buttons break, they knock the springs out, they break the ears off of the Zeus buttons. I hate Zeus buttons. I've always hated Zeus buttons. These are what they use in airplanes. They are cam lock fasteners. And there you go. You can see that it's got a grommet that's retained in the panel, and then it's got a what they call a stud. Comes through, and it engages into that guy right there. Quarter turn, in and out. So for street driving, we will pull that piece of carbon out and put the grill back in to make it look, you know, not stupid. And then it also matches Dayton's awesome paint job he did to make it look right. So the hexagons, pretty sweet. Very happy with it. I like this car. We haven't really gotten that fast with it yet, but I do like this car. So I also ran this thing on the dyno earlier this week, I think. And we had it ran good. Like there's no airflow through the front because it's just static on the dyno. Was able to keep the coolant temp like whatever I wanted, 140 degrees or whatever. Oil temp crept up. So I had an oil cooler on it, but it was stacked. I had Matt make, hold on, let me show you. Let me shine some little light on there. There we go. I had Matt remake the mount for it. So this over here is the transmission cooler. This over here is the oil cooler, and then the radiator's behind it. So this will be a untested venture, but I think it'll work good. So oil temp was getting up to like 210. And granted, we weren't moving and there was no fresh air over it. So anyway, hopefully it works out. Anyway, let me know what you think. Did we screw anything up? Oh yeah, we added bull horns because this thing really likes to wheelie, like a lot. And yeah, they kind of helped. Maybe, I don't know. It's still kind of wheelies, but maybe it helped, maybe it didn't. Let me know. How do we fix the wheelie? How do we fix that? So we will be at Sick Week or down in Gainesville on Friday of this week, and we'll be testing Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday is day 0. Day 1 is on Monday, so come on out to Gainesville. Check this thing out, or check out all the other cool cars. There's tons of way cooler cars than this thing there, and lots of different stuff. So come on and check it out. Have a good time. Take a week off. Call in sick. So, what do you think? We gonna survive? We're gonna make it? We're gonna make it off the property on day 1. Who knows? I don't know. I hope so. But if everything lines out, I think we're on track to run, deep into the 16s, 6.0 range. I don't know if this car's got a 590 in it yet. I'm not going to sit here and act like it does, but I won't tell you that it's going to run anything until it runs it. But by the numbers, it should run into the 16s from what I'm looking at, in data-wise. So that's all I got. There's my little update. Oh, I know what y'all want to see. Nobody ever showed you. So my lift's a little slow, but this is worth seeing. This front end doesn't have any fasteners on it. Notice that there's no Zeus fasteners back there, right? There's no Zeus fasteners up here. There's none up on the hood. Nice and clean and sleek. Well, this was a friend of ours, Jared Tucker, started doing this a little while ago, and he was gracious enough to share some information with us. And then Matt at Performance Fab implemented it, and then I came up with my little trick for the electrical side of things, right? So this is the easiest front end to take on and off that out of every front end I've ever worked on or worked with. So what we got here is, all right, let's see if we can zoom in. And, all right, so, dang, this is harder to do than you think with one hand. All right, so if you look, you see that little white piece up there? That is got a hole in it, it's a guide. And then those metal pieces right there, that's all bonded to the front end. There's another one of those guides right back there. You see it? There it is. So there's dowels that go into there, and that's what aligns the back of the car, or back of the front end. And then up front, we've got, let me zoom way out. There we go. Nope, a little more. There we go. I'm new to this, just give me a break. So what we got here is, that's a door latch. So when you want to disengage the front end, click, and the front end comes off. So there you can see that's on the striker right there. This is what I came up with on my own for the electrical. So everybody uses the contacts that just kind of touch each other. You know what I mean? Yeah, that. And every time you go on a trans brake, the lights flicker and they suck. So what I came up with was a flanged DT8 that I don't know what the part number is, so I can't tell you, but it's got a wider receptacle than normal. And then I got a backshelled E008 modification to the plug. Then we made this, and then I cut the lock tabs off of it. So now, when you slide the front end on and off, that just lines up and works. And I've had this front end on and off probably 200-ish times, and it's worked every time perfectly. So, pretty excited about that. Pretty cool. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try to do some videos on sick week. There's, kind of showing changeover, some driving, some racing, whole bunch of it. But for now, that's all I've got. So wish us luck. Hopefully we don't suck. See you later.